I'm Zach. I'm a second-year medical student, and I'm on track. It's intellectually rigorous. You have to think about basic first principles a lot, but then also you have to maintain a sort of professional, interpersonal, physical ability, especially when you're doing like surgeries and procedures and stuff. So I feel like that medicine offers that special kind of career that isn't available anywhere else. I involved myself in various clubs, different interests that I had, and I selected a major that is sort of medicine related, though I wouldn't say that that's a prerequisite or even necessary for someone who wants to go into medicine. I was a neuroscience major, so I would say I prepared myself in those different respects, in the academic respect, the extra academic respect in terms of volunteering and so on, and also studying for the MCAT, keeping close contact with the pre-profession, advising people. That was definitely another sort of vital component I don't think enough people emphasize. You have to ask yourself, what would the admissions committee know about me? What would they identify me as someone who got good grades? Would they identify me as the guy that wrote in the student newspaper for 5 years and cares deeply about race and politics and economics or whatever? So that was sort of my premise going into it. That's why I sort of selected the thing, identified certain things that I really like. Economics is one of them. But I mean, it can be anything. I was a member of several clubs. I was a president of the Neuroscience Academic Society, where I went to school. So it really doesn't matter what you do. In fact, I'd say that's another big message that if I could give to anyone would be to pursue your own interest. Whatever you are really, really, really good at, do that thing, as long as you get a bachelor's degree out of it, and as long as it's very significant. So I know several students in my class, they were French majors, violin majors, they weren't sciencey people, they had to do prerequisites to get in, but that wasn't their focus. What I preferred was the exam crackers. It had little stupid mnemonics that I even remember today that helped me. You know, I'll be in the middle of a clinic with a patient and they'll have a certain symptomatology, and I'll just spout out all these stupid mnemonics that I remember from years back studying for the MCAT. So as long as you can sort of personalize things that you will remember, I would say just go with that. There's no, if you hear anyone say, oh, do this, do that, I don't know if I would take that philosophy at all. My impression of medical school was that I think it was largely accurate, mostly because I knew that I wanted to do it from a young age. So I knew what doctors did every day. But my perception, of course, was, you're never home, whatever, which is true, that you're never home. You're always in the books. Right now I'm in my second year, which means I'm preparing for the board exam. The board exam is basically one test that sort of determines your life. It's sort of like the MCAT, but more important in a way, because it sort of points you in which direction you're going, especially wise. So I'm spending a lot of time both in the courses I'm taking and preparing for that exam. So there are little things that basically what I'm trying to say is there are little things that you just don't know about like that take up a lot of time. I'd say the toughest part is maintaining your interests in your personal health, because I think too many people, they sort of focus too much on the curriculum or whatever, and then they'll realize, oh wait, I have a life, and then they'll just completely ignore what they previously focused on. It's like there's no equilibrium. So I'd say, a lot of people say life balance, whatever, if that's the way to describe it, fine, but I'm sort of juggling between my family and the board exam, my clinical experience and the curriculum, and having a healthy emphasis on all of those, as well as my personal interests, I think is probably the most difficult thing to do. I enjoy like I said before, the unique aspects of medicine are intellectual rigor and coupled with interpersonal skills plus some other sort of physical procedure thing. What I mean by that is touching patients, helping out people, but coupling that with stuff that I read in the book. The whole process of trying to integrate that in your mind and make it a consolidated whole is really awesome to me. Medicine, it's like a big mystery novel, sort of. Someone comes in with some general stuff and you have to divine from that, you know, oh, you have some microorganism floating around in your lungs, even though they probably didn't even know that. You're like Sherlock Holmes, sort of going through their body. The patient has no idea what you're doing, but you know what you're doing because they're like this landscape mystery and you're sort of probing here and there. So I sort of like, I guess the two of those components together sort of combined, plus the fact that, I mean, the people that I work with are awesome.